Okay, back to part two with Corey David running for Ward 20 councillor by election, Scarborough Southwest. Welcome back. Sorry to continue the conversation. Your beard grew a little bit more. It's nice to see.
Yeah,
You're
a
like
little
me.
bit.
You're like a lot of hair guy. Like, yeah. Like I'm in my family, like because my mom's Irish, my dad's Spanish. Like my brother has no hair whatsoever. He's like a peach baby, but he's brown, right? You
Yeah,
know? But it's so funny, like
yeah.
two opposites. Yeah. Like he never shaves. He shaves once in a blue moon. I have to shave every day. We're talking about, yeah. So anyways, yeah. So back to these talk about the police chief, right? You know what? Why don't we see, like working class in the police force? Like all these guys have their time in, right? They're all like senior citizens. Like I don't think need senior citizens, but we need more young blood. Why can't a guy like you sitting in Ward 20 in a ward community coalition invite the police board and you get elected, you're part of the police board, but you're a member of society of that ward, speaking for the people. You're the perfect example of being on that board as a person for the people, not some handpicked doctor or dentist. I'm on the police board as a civilian, you know. It's just so this has to change. This has been going on for years. It's just frustrating.
I know. I just something like that. I would worry about ending up serving the interests of the police, because I don't want to serve the police. Like I said, I'm against the police. I think that there's a future without them that's a lot better than them staying in it. So I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. Like it's something else that went to the MSA, was oversight, police oversight. It should be civilian oversight over the police. And we got
Mhm.
to kind of debate, right? Because I have like a maximum demand of well, basically my demand is that I'm not going to vote for any money to the police, right? So in fact, if you had a government that was on the same page, then effectively no money would go to the police, and that would be, and just to answer earlier, that money that I want to take away from the police, I want to put it into all kinds of social services and
Social
all kinds of
programs, yeah,
that's a
yeah,
different conversation. I just wanted to touch on that.
yeah. Just on that, yeah.
That money should be going towards things to benefit the community, not surveil and harass the community. But yeah, I mean, in the interim, if they were going to set up a civilian oversight board on the police, would yeah, I'd probably support that. Because
Oh,
I think
sorry,
that the people that would support
I
me
didn't mean
would
you being
likely
on
want
the
that.
police board. I mean you being part of the community advocate coalition, talking with the police board. But I'm saying that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like a liaison or something like that. But with actual some kind of body, it actually needs oversight power, right? It just can't be like a talk shop or whatever. You need to actually be able to make changes. So
Yeah, not
I
just
don't.
a get together and hoopla and that's it. Then
Yeah,
the photo ops and all that. Like we get together, photo op, picture of the cops, picture of the civilians. Looks good. Let's do some progress. Nothing happens, right? We know the
yeah.
photo ops. You know, I'm
Oh yeah.
surprised. It's amazing. The photo ops just kills me. It's so funny.
Yeah. Everyone wants a good picture to put up somewhere, right?
I know. So look, back to the MSA. I know that. So I know why you got involved and okay, I'll ask you a question. Since how long have you been with the MSA now?
The MSA, when I ran in the election, the by-election in Scarborough Asian Court, there was no MSA. So the MSA, I was a founding member of the MSA, and I think it came about after that by-election. I think it was something that Socialist Action initiated. It wanted to expand its sort of entry into the municipal elections.
Mhm.
So it looked for it collaborated with like-minded people, allies, friends, or strangers even, but people who were looking to do this a similar kind of thing to what we were doing. So I think it's existed for about 3 years now. I
They've been
think.
all 3 years. Well, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what my next question to ask you on that was since you've been part of the MSA and the stuff you've been involved with the community stuff and protesting, advocating for socialism and people. Have you seen any like good results from being part of that in MSA and MSA's involvement with helping other people out?
Yeah, I mean, when I've seen the impact that it's had on political campaigns, like it's gotten other political campaigns to change their messaging to react to what we're saying, because
Okay.
we don't want to we definitely don't want to let people have an easy ride if they're just going to ride the election to the seat. We want to challenge them on the things that we care about, right? And so I have seen people change their own policy or adjust their policy to to at least acknowledge what we're saying, acknowledge what we think are realities of the city and of the people that live here.
You think that could be
Other things,
you think
I've
that,
seen the people getting involved who care about this stuff and having an outlet to do something about it and to try and reach people. And I've seen the positive feedback I've gotten from people. It's not always positive, but for the vast majority of the time, it's pretty positive, the feedback I get from people when I'm doing canvassing or whatever. The MSA hasn't really. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, just back before I get hit. You mentioned about the people following your policies, taking from what you guys stand for, now putting in there. Is that because of a fear? A fear basically because, hey, they're doing something for the people. You're working for the people, and it's getting results. Maybe we should follow that suit because what we're doing right now is not working, and we need results. We need support. It's kind of like what are they like piggybacking you guys just to make them look better? Kind of what it's pretty way of saying it.
Kind of, yeah. I don't think they're necessarily taking what we're saying. Maybe sometimes, but they're
Like
they're
just
more
take
so
examples.
more so they would not want to talk about it at all. They would not want to mention it.
Oh
They
yeah,
have
they're not gonna say I got my idea from the
their
MS.
presentation.
Oh, the
Yeah,
MSA, I got my idea from the MSA. They're gonna look, what are you talking about? You know, like you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, so then we bring it up and then they have to talk about it because people are asking them questions or whatever, or it's become kind of a media issue or an issue in the ward, an issue in the city, sorry. So yeah, I've seen that. I don't think I don't know. I don't think any candidate wants to steal our ideas because I don't think they're interested in socialism. It doesn't seem like, well, like I said, that's why I'm running because none of the candidates are interested in it. But they still have to address the questions we bring forward, like inequality, like all the issues we bring forward, the corporate domination of the city, the lack of public institutions, the lack of public infrastructure, the sell-off of everything in the city, including healthcare, which isn't even a municipal issue, but it's going to become a municipal issue when there's no hospitals that are public anymore. Not that I think that's going to happen next year, but it's that's the way the provincial government's going, right? So that's another thing is that there should be some fight in the city. The city should be able to say to the province that no, we're not going to do what you tell us to do. We have over 3 million people in the city proper. I think it's over like 5 million in the GTA.
Yeah.
We are a major source of income for the province. We are the majority of the province in this city, right? Or maybe not the majority, but I think it's almost half the province lives in the city, right? In the GTA. So why should the province dictate what the city does? I realize that we have to try and work together on a lot of things, but the way that, for instance, the province totally ripped apart the last election or 2 elections ago, sorry, the two elections ago, general election, when the province came in, merged a bunch of wards together, basically cut the wards in half. So now people have less representation. People say, and then it didn't save any money because all those politicians who were elected just hired more staffers to deal with the extra people they had to
And they gave them
represent.
raises.
Sorry, and they gave
Raises.
themselves raises. Yeah. Yeah, the minimum wage is 15 something now, but I don't know
But
what.
all the councils got more. They got more. They gave themselves raises.
Oh,
After they got
if you could vote to give yourself a raise, wouldn't you do it?
no, I'm not a money guy. You know, I'm not. I'm one of the few that say that. You know,
I
I
got
wear the
respect for I got respect for that, Phil. I need enough to survive, and if I have that, that's okay. But that's
no,
another
no.
pledge, eh?
I know how to wear the buckles. We're both come from from nothing to like making a living. We know the money goes. The greed. Well, you're a clear example, right? These Ford and all these people are all making. They're millionaires. What do you want to make more money for by selling out the green belt? Bringing a stupid spa to that's another thing. Oh, I heard. I got the inside scoop. You want to hear this? They're investigating Ford with the whole therm spa, where the money's going to, why they're bringing the spa, why they picked just specific spa to come there, right? I got the inside scoop that the RCP are just about they're ready to make an announcement. They're gonna launch it, continue the investigation, not just in the green belt, the green thing, but also the spa. Why is the spa coming here? Why is the city agreeing to that in the first place? I went down to the Ontario Place for All. Norm Pascal is fighting for that. I asked the city that were there representing with the therm conglomerates. I said, "Give me. I want to see the access to the surveys." You know, they won't give public access to surveys. They've done a few, but not many. My survey that I want they should do is this. They've written all these foreign plants, for example, trees, palm trees. They're gonna put in an artificial place. They're gonna heat this place up 24 hours a day, right? And they just proved in the news not too long. They just said bacteria sitting on this tree the last 10,000 years got activated. So you tell me they done surveys about this. So you bring a tree, for example, a palm tree sitting in the spa, 24 hours, and something breaks down, the machine or whatever, and this spore or bacteria is getting released in the environment. People breathe that. They've gotten rid of all these trees that absorb oxygen and pollutants, right? They they haven't done that survey that, you know, like bringing all this for, well, even the immigration can't bring stuff over, you can't bring over overseas on a plane, right? So why are they bringing all this stuff over, getting access? So this stuff affects, I got just a bad feeling if they bring this stuff over, it's going to affect a lot of people, right? You know, just an example, but they haven't done proper surveys. No, they just said the other day, they said, "Oh, we're going to tear down all these trees. We just proved that we're going to all four rare bat species will be gone. We can deal with that. We'll plant 80,000 trees. That makes you laugh. We're going to tear these trees. And we're going to plant. Why just leave the trees and work around it? Remember the Eaton Center? Do you remember the story of the church there, the United Church there on the corner, right in the middle there, at the side there? I don't know how old you are. I'm aging myself. But back in the 70s, when they're building they're planning to build the Eaton Center. They're going to tear down this church, right? And that church is the vital. It was actually a heritage site, first of all. And don't get me started on the heritage people. But anyways, people fought back and they won. And I think it was the first major win for community. And this the church was saved. And if you saw the original architecture where the church is supposed to be gone now, you see if you look down over it, it's kind of funny the way the Eaton Center is built. It's built like a rectangle, so it goes around the church and continues on, right? Because this church to this day feeds the homeless, provides music, and it does all kinds of functions, right? And it's amazing, you know. That's just one example. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just
I'm
saying,
glad to hear that. Yeah.
yeah, just one example. Like heritage sites sucks. Seriously, they don't save nothing but trees. That's all they do. You know.
Well, they do save some things, but I think sometimes their attention is much more on trying to save like an old building than it is trying to actually make society better. So I don't know. Like if
Well,
the
like
old building is serving a purpose or whatever, but if it's just for the sake of an old building, I don't know. It's like these statues. What are we trying to remember? Like what are we trying to remember here? What is so important about this exactly, right? And anyways, like it's great that you said that church is a community center essentially. That's fantastic that they saved it then for that. Yeah, because otherwise it'd just be more of a shopping center, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, well, look at the world's biggest bookstore. That was a staple. That should have been a site. They tore that down to build a condo. 20 years, and what 30 years, they finally built a condo or something. It's ridiculous. No, but there's a lot of heritage sites all over the city that are gone. You know, well, C&E is a perfect example. A lot of heritage sites are gone there. Clock Tower. You know, they look at the old pictures. You know, you go on Facebook, they have these groups, these vintage groups. You go and they show the old
Vintage
pictures.
Toronto, yeah.
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 I'm part of the whole bunch of them. I get a whole bunch of these pictures, like the clock tower. That's not there. That's a heritage site. You know, the stand the record man. That's a heritage site because that's been there for years. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
They still got
gone.
the billboard, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they
They
save the
still got
billboard. They won't save the store, but they'll save the billboard. They'll save Honest Ed's sign, but they won't save the billboard. They'll put a
Oh
condo
yeah,
there.
Honest Ed's was pretty cool. Yeah, Honest Ed's was pretty cool.
And
It's
that's
pretty neat.
it's actually
There
and
was
it's just
affordable stuff. You could actually buy stuff
yeah.
there.
And you know what the biggest thing was? They're always the traditions every year they give the turkeys away, right? People line up around the corner for turkeys, and that's gone. You know?
It's a problem. I mean, to bring it back to this election in Scarborough, like there's a grocery store, an independent grocery store called Sun Valley. It was at
Yeah.
Danforth and Birchmount. I don't know if you know it, but it was a pretty good grocery store. Anyways, I liked it. It was independent and the prices varied, but they had good produce and stuff. It doesn't matter. The point is it was a major like boon for that community, right? And now
Yeah.
it's just gone. I mean, I heard the inside story that I heard. Don't quote me or whatever. You can quote me, but I can't confirm this. Is that the owner is older? They're retiring or whatever. They asked their kids if anyone wanted to take over. None of them really had any interest, so he just sold it, right? And it's just this is the tragedy of private property, right? Is you have a thing that is a community benefit, is a part of the community, but the community doesn't have control over what happens to it.
No. I've talked to a lot of candidates about this, like a lot of these mom and pop stores, they grew the community. You know, immigration came over different countries. A lot of these ethnic communities are based on these stores built there from another country. They built a shoe store. Some of the Jewish delis been there for years. They grew that Jewish community. But like I said, it's not property. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's it. You know, and that's it. Put a condo there, and
Whoever's
that
got the money, whoever's got the money,
they
that's
grew
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the sun. They grew that community. People worked around it. They depended on that. Even on the Dapper, there's quite a few little local grocery store there, and I'm glad they're still there. I think they're major I've talked to a lot of people down there during the election. It's a valid court. You know, they go down the road because of stuff. They have a party. You know, once all that's gone, once they start building, I'm not being mean, but I'm going to see this happen. And you know what do? They're going to want developers coming there. They want to buy that whole property, put condos there, and that's going to all be gone. You know Elliot's bookstore on Wellesley and Young. I know the owner that works there, and he's gone
Yeah,
now. He's retired, and he told me the story that the developers came in. They wanted to buy that whole section where his bookstore was, and they're going to pay the price what they wanted. But one person held out, and they ended up not doing it. I don't know if they can still do it or what, but it's just taking like even like Army Surplus Stores. I was a big fan of Army Surplus Stores. You don't see them anymore on Young Street. They're all gone. Young Street was so historical back in the 80s.
yeah. Moss Park didn't they have an Army surplus store right next to Moss Park or
I think
something?
it's gone. Yeah, I think it's
I
yeah
think
the
it's
one.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gone. I don't remember seeing it anymore. That was right at the corner. Yeah, Moss Park
and
Armies.
the only other one I know is Kensington. I don't know if that one's still there. I think that one's gone. Is that gone too?
There's the Army Surplus Store there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't know. I've never been there. No, I don't. No.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's still there or not. There was one. I bought pants from there one time.
I
Yeah.
didn't even.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all these mom and pop stores, right? So I was if you get elected as a ward councilor for your ward, and you know what's needed, and what would you say the two major things that your ward needs? So I was talking about housing and crime and
Yeah, like I would say I would say that I don't know what's needed because I'm not everyone in this ward. I think that the community, the all communities, but in this case, Scarborough Southwest needs to needs to come together and actually have say over how their ward is shaped. And that's another thing that I think is pretty important along with housing and defunding the police
and see,
and
you're
dealing
being
with
honest.
congestion,
You
dealing with
just answered.
homelessness.
You just answered honestly, which you don't see too often. I asked you a question about what would you do for your community or for your ward. The top two things you said, I'm not sure. I'd have to consult with the community. That's pure honesty. You're not putting on any bulls like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You're just saying consult the community because you're not aware of anything goes on in your ward, right? That's
Yeah,
pure.
like
That's a pure.
I have
That's a pure.
ideas.
Yeah, it's pure
You know,
honest answer. I love it. I think it's great.
I would always encourage, and I would encourage people to move in a social direction, right? To move towards a social outlook like cooperative housing. Like I think that's a fantastic model. I think we need to resurrect it because it's basically been killed. The wait list is insane. So I mean, just by looking at those numbers, you know that people care about cooperative housing. It's
Yeah.
something they're interested in, something they want. So I can tell you
Well,
that that's something that I would want
yeah,
to do. I
that's
mean, to
nice.
find the money and the resources and stuff, but I mean, it's the city. The city represents the people. The people are the city. So it should have a mandate to do such things, right? In legal context, it's different, right? Because we live under private property law, or sorry, English property law, English common law, sorry, which enshrines private property,
My
right?
dad, my dad worked for Ontario Housing for his whole life before he died, and back then when he was working on it was called Metro Housing back then, but he said he got to go to work, got on call because somebody needed a housing or apartment, and it was ready to go. There was no waiting list back then, right? There was just all something available because you're hearing the stories growing up as a kid, and now it's seeing this going on like.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
this is back in the 70s and 80s when he was working there. He went on call on shift work, 3 hours, three shifts. And he got a call in the night. He had to go and advocate for some home being allotted or whatever. And there was a system built up that there was not just a waiting list. There wasn't even never even heard of the word waiting list. So there was something all whenever you come back home, you all say, I put so and so in the home, family of four. There was never that thing of they gotta wait on the list like now. There was a back then there was a system built up and it worked. So I don't know what happened between now and then. Just some conglomerates or
Yeah,
what?
I think that they've sold off properties. The population's grown. They haven't continued to invest in
I had the
cooperatives and
Toronto
public
Community
housing.
Housing at the benefits on the weekend. I went down there for that community benefit, and I had to walk out of the because they had
Yeah,
different sessions. They had TCH there, Toronto Community. And I had a thing on the video on a video screen there. They had the 7 homes that are still left over from TCH, and I said that's the second. I had to leave because I was going to make a stink. I said, that's pathetic. That you're having now you're advocating that got different nationality on the board and all this stuff. It's nice, but let's look at what happened. Those 7 homes or 7 buildings are left over from the decrepit, dilapidated neglect of the last 30 or 40 gone, 30 or 40 gone. I can at least count of 40 in the last 20 years that are gone. Because they tried to get things done to Ottawa. Nothing was done. I make me laugh when Tory was in remember the roof fell down one of the buildings.
Buildings,
Yeah, and then
yeah,
he
yeah.
called, and then they call him, I called the management team, we're gonna look on the matter. Well, why didn't you call in the first place? Why you wait till now? And it's all photo ops once again to look good in front of the public, but nothing's done, So and
Yeah.
I
We're
walked
doing
out of
something about it. Yeah,
what's that?
yeah. No, I'm just making a joke. I said like we're doing something about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
doing
well,
fuck
exactly.
all.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just saying TCH is good and fine, but you gotta look at what's gone. And we get different nationalities in the board, and they're advocating what they're gonna do, and they got a lot of things going. That's great, but I said you're doing all this because of the lack of what was done. We knew who was part of the TCH back then. We knew what councils back then, what photo ops were done, all these organizations, all these meetings that took place, and they ran for mayor. It makes me sick. Like I get nothing against people, but you know what? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't say you did this for this all this back then, because I know people that are homeless that were part of TCH and they got kicked out, and they're still fighting to this day. And even the year the word any council that worked there, and they ran for election, they just shake their heads like, really? There's people that naive. They don't really remember, what they did in the past. It's not. I don't know if it's politics. Is politics some sort of like ignorance? Let's not remember what they did in the past. We just go blank, complete the screen, blank the screen, clear the screen. Don't care what you did. You're just fighting to be the ward, the mayor. But the question is, why does people keep getting reelected? I asked another candidate earlier in an interview, why they keep getting reelected? Lack of vote, lack of interest.
Who Crawford? Gary Crawford?
Well, yeah, and him and others. We talked about,
Why
they've
why
been
do they keep getting reelected?
30 years a council member. Come on.
How many people vote? Like less than half, I think, in the
29% voted last election,
elections. I think
36.
Scarborough West actually has decent turnouts compared to a lot of other
What's
wards.
really funny?
But I still think it's about half of the people
Your
vote, or less than
ward,
half.
out of all the debates I went to last year in the election, your ward had the most attendance. The one you
Yeah.
couldn't make it, yeah, it was packed with people concerned about questions about the community and all, right? So it's interesting to see that out of all the wards I went to, like there was
There, there
scarce.
are there are some there are some good community organizations which facilitated that. There was sort of a candidate marketplace, they called it, like a forum type thing. They did it at
Mhm.
Birchmount. I couldn't make it because I had to work, but Kiri and Peter went to it for me, and I don't know how well it was attended. But I'm just saying though, there are these community organizations are taking it upon themselves to facilitate public engagement, I guess, along with other things like causes or whatever, like
Like
the
the
like the
um
like
the
the bike rail
Scarborough,
trail they want to
so
put
the
in.
Sun is organizing all your debates, right? Well, two of them.
Yeah, Scarborough United Networks or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
pretty. Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, I
yeah,
found
and
that
that's a
interesting.
that's a bunch of smaller groups that came together
Yeah, like
to
3 or 4,
do that.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, so
interesting.
it's pretty cool. I think it's amazing. I don't know the politics of these organizations. I guess they try to be neutral as possible, right? Because they want that neutrality so they can they can be the body that facilitates the engagement, right?
Yeah.
uh yeah, and I mean, obviously they're people and they have their own opinions, right? But just the fact that they're organizing this for the community themselves on their own time, right? Not trying to boost one candidate or the other or whoever, right? They're trying to remain that neutral thing. I mean, that's principled, and I gotta respect that, and I really appreciate them, because there's no way that I would have the same
Well,
kind of
your name, you're well
publicity
known
or
in.
whatever
I was at the
without
one of
them.
the Birchmount Center there on Saturday, the meet, and I did I videotaped, and because they talked
But you
about
were
your.
there on Saturday, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I taped it. Yeah, but your name is known there. You know that? It's funny. Your
Oh,
name. Yeah, because I heard the guys organizing a couple of people. Is Corey coming down? No, I can't make it tonight. That's like a first name basis. Oh, they know Corey. Okay, cool. That's great. Yeah, because they went by alphabetical order. They had your name. Corey was not here. He's at work. But he's got his people back here doing the advocating for him. It's funny. Yeah.
nice,
So
yeah.
your name is. It's funny. Did you know that you're known in the community, like in that area? Like your name was like a first name basis. Yeah, it's funny. Just
Not really. I mean, I dealt with Scan and stuff in the previous election, and other people. I mean, I've been around it for 3 elections now, 2 in this ward. So I mean, I guess I don't know, but I won't let it go to my head. I promise.
No, but it was nice to hear. It was nice to hear that the way they talked about you. It's kind of neat, like
Oh
you're not a
yeah.
stranger. You're not a stranger among that group, at least from what I heard. So it's kind of neat. Even at the beginning when you watch the video, I got a video. What just see when they do the video, how they talk about you, the way they present you. It's kind of neat. It's kind of cool.
Okay, cool. Check it
Yeah,
out.
it's cool. It's good. So I was ask you, people don't realize that you work for TTC, right? So if you get elected, how does that work with your job? Because you just joined the TTC. You have to quit your job? Can you take a leave of
I,
absence or what?
yeah, I'd probably, if I got elected, I'd probably have to quit. I probably would. I mean, I potentially could take a leave, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think that would work. I don't know. I really
You
don't
can't
know.
you can't take you can't take
But
a break. You can't take
yeah.
a break for blowing your nose for 4 years.
Yeah, I know, right? No, no.
They give you a call
I
the
won't
second
let
year.
me.
Corey, how's that nose going? Sorry, I just got it all out. I need another year. I'll be back to work. You
Yeah,
know?
and that's the thing is like I'm worried about putting this job in jeopardy, but these things are too important. And part of the reason I got this job was to be able to do union work, right?
Yeah.
Which I haven't done yet, but which I
Well, you
want to
talked
get
about
into.
you
And
want
that's
to get something
my
with
New Year's
yeah,
resolution.
your union with your advocacy for socials and all with the unions, the TTC unions and all that, you know. But like I said, yeah, because a lot of people don't realize, like some people take a leave of absence. You know, like Phil Mills, he's been there for like 20 years at his job. He ran a year last year. But I asked him, I
Yeah,
said, can you take a leave of absence 4 years from your job? Would you lose that seniority? Like, say you were a TTC like 15 years, and you'd have to quit, and then you lose that all the seniority, which is like, people don't realize that you're actually giving a part of your life to do something else, right? It's a good thing, right? But still, you're looking back, right?
yeah.
You're
You're
making
trying to
that sacrifice.
earn that seniority. Yeah.
You're making that sacrifice, which is great. You're making that sacrifice, but I want to put that out. People realize that you guys are not just got any job. You got a significant job. You're going to quit this job to do this, to advocate for the community. You're sacrificing, which is part. It's all good. But when it comes down to the end of the day, right? After 4 years, you got to run again, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe someone better will come up or whatever. Maybe someone else will come
No, but I'm
forward
just saying, like, if you get in,
that
like,
I
if
can
you get
believe in, right?
no, but
But I don't know.
every 4 years you got to keep running again. You're not just you can't just go into the next session. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, after 4 years, you got to run again. You go back to TTC, or you're gonna start from scratch, or you just run again, right? There's that
Yeah,
almost that iffy. It's like starting your own business, basically. You're not. It's an iffy factor. If I'm gonna run again,
yeah,
like
you're taking a chance for sure.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
content and it's good. And you guys are making that sacrifice. And I just want to point that out to any ward candidate or mayor and taking that chance from the jobs. And also, you're working a 9 to 5 job. Well, you got shift work, right? So you're actually doing all your advocating for your ward or for your running on your own time, right? With live,
yeah,
we talked about these
yeah. I mean,
sports.
I wouldn't judge someone who takes like if you're able to take the time off and run a campaign to sit like a fully during this time or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna knock anyone for that. I'm working and I wasn't I'm not going to be stopping working for this campaign, unfortunately, because I don't know what my chances are. I don't think they're particularly great. I mean, we're trying to run a serious campaign. We're trying to win people's hearts and minds and trying to win. But you have to look at what the past has shown us, and the reality is that likely I will not win. That's the reality, right?
Yeah,
And
but you know what?
the work
I'm
I'm
gonna
doing
argue.
here,
I'm
and
gonna argue that
yeah,
you never be surprised. You may come down low, and next election you may become, surprisingly you may go up that you least expect. Right? It's happened before, but the point is that at least you're doing your advocating for the for running for the ward on your own time, not company time. We talked about the election like this last time. A lot of these candidates that ran, they're still part of council. They canvassed on city time, and I didn't like that. You know a lot of the under 102 candidates, a lot of
yeah,
them
yeah,
working
yeah.
stiff. They are working stiff. They work like you. You're working after hours on your time, not on city time. You're not getting paid by the city to run for an election, which they were working on city property. I mean, I have a big thing about that, but just
I don't know the details of how they set that up or whatever, but I know what you're saying. And it's true.
yeah,
Like, you have so much more of a opportunity. You're so much more freer to campaign and whatnot. And
yeah.
you don't have to worry, because you're campaigning for your own seat, right? So you already have it. You can just walk away. Like, I know, I don't know. Ah, Gary Crawford really, it makes me unhappy when I think of him. But I know he took a leave from the city to run for his provincial campaign in Scarborough Guildwood, right?
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, and then yeah, so it's like he held on. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very committed to me. If you're, but I mean, that's what I guess in a way that's what I'm doing.
But
I
then
have
you
my
have to
job and I'm still running, but still, like, you're running for an
then
elected position.
you have to quit, right? You have to quit run for MPP.
He didn't have to, but the thing is that if he didn't quit, he would have lost his severance from the city.
Oh, that's right.
If
Yeah, the 10 grand a year. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
or whatever it is. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to get too negative here,
No, but it's
but
good.
yeah, yeah. But a lot of people. It's like Phil from last election. He ran, and I think when I talked to him at the rate when it finished, he was a bit disappointed in what happened. But I told him, like, you got like 300 people to come out and support you.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean,
I'm grateful. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they believed in you, man. Like that's
300 people
300
believe.
people.
Yeah.
You don't even know all of them, probably. Like you
No, no,
probably
no.
haven't even met all of them.
Well, what did you get last
And you
election?
convinced them that you stand up for what they believe
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
right? I'm like,
Well, how many did you get last year for the last election for yourself?
I got 600 or maybe a little bit less than that, I
So
think.
people don't know you, believe in you, right? And that's something to
Yeah,
be proud of.
I was a little bit surprised. I was happy that 600 people supported me. It's not enough to win. It's not a massive number, but it's a lot of people, and it's
It's
enough
nice to know
to
that,
build.
like
It's
I
enough
got
to
one
build
thousand
around.
six. I got 1,689 last year, but like I said, people believe in you, what you're causing, what you stand for, and it's nice to know that. Not to say people say you're disappointed, Keen at low or top low five, it doesn't matter. That group, whoever believe in you, and not just to give up. Because if you give up, that 600 people believe you are going to be disappointed, right? I think it's like,
Yeah, they might not vote for anybody, or they might vote for someone they don't like, or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, we'll just vote for that guy. He's part of status quo, like they did anyways, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. But well, we'll see what happens with this award. I went to the presentation. It's on video. You can watch it. But I must say, all the candidates that are running right for this year with no incumbent, you can see the big difference in the mentality, in the attitude of the people. Like a lot of her. I don't know if you know all the candidates. I know a few of them, like yourself. For the community was no. I think you're the most out of them. You're the most for the community, like the most advocate for the people's voice. I'd say out of all of
But
them.
yeah, I don't even think we should have councils. We should have little like, mini councils, and they should vote on actual things, not on people. They should vote on things like what are we gonna do? Like not vote for this guy to go do stuff. No, don't vote for him. Vote for the actual thing you
Yeah,
want.
it's like one ward.
That's a distant thing, trying to set up
And that's like a
councils
what?
and
Oh
such
well.
things.
Oh, are you a right? I've lost my train of thought. You're talking about the reducing council. Did you know? Like I'm Ward 16, right? Did you hear about my ward? They're going to reduce my ward to one again. They're going to combine two wards. I think it's Don Valley East and South. Yeah, it's already been passed by the Parliament. Yeah, they have
So it's like
there's signs.
100,000 people or so. Yeah.
There's signs all over the my neighborhood. It's called Save the Dawn, right? Save the Dawn. What the heck is Save the Dawn? Yeah. So Burnside, had council seat back when they had the 45 council seats. He lost his position because they reduced. So now he's running. He's our council member for our ward. So now when this gets passed, I mean, I think it'll be done before the next election. But if it's still early, he'll lose the seat again for the second time because it's going to reduce from wards east. I think it's east and south. I can't remember now, but it's going to be reduced
I
to.
hope so. I don't like John Burnside, but
But I'm
yeah.
just saying, from 24 wards, it's going to be 23 wards now. It's going to be reduced
But
again.
that's not a good reason for him to. That's not a good thing though. Unfortunately, even if it does result in John Burnside losing.
Well, like you said, one ward for the whole, one ward council for the whole area. I mean, we're talking a humongous area, like you said, vote on individual things, not as just council members, but advocates with the community, right?
Yeah, each ward is almost 100,000 people each now, or something like that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. So you have
You know,
one person that done 100,000 people. I mean,
are you gonna like I've seen these people at canvassing? Are you gonna on your time? Are you gonna Corey Dave? You're gonna go reach all 100,000 people in your ward and knock on their doors and say vote for me?
yeah. Well, even when I was working with Dolly Begum on her previous campaign, and she took some time off work to do it, and she was saying even going every day out to try, and this was before the ward. No, this is because it's provincial. It's already a bigger jurisdiction. That's probably not the right word, but anyways, she was saying that there's no way she can reach everybody, even if taking off a whole month, going out every day, like 8-hour days, trying to see people, right? Even with that, you still can't see everybody. It's impossible,
I
right?
had a guy last year. He phoned me up. His son ran for the ward. I don't know what ward, and he wanted to sell me the signs, his son's signs of wooden planks, whatever. So he told me his story that his son ran for ward, and he said he was up every day, 7 days a week, from 10 o'clock till 10 at night, and he still could not reach every door for his ward, right?
Yeah,
He's
there's
still.
no way. Yeah.
No. Do you think canvassing is a dying thing? You know?
No, I think canvassing is important. I think it's important to talk to people. I don't know. I mean, the internet and social media is so interesting because you can engage with anyone anytime with big
Yeah.
groups of people. But but in doing so, I feel like you sort of lose the details. Maybe I don't know. It's
I'll
you
give you.
lose. You feel. I think it's that you feel like you're doing something, but
Yeah.
if you're
I'll
just
give
on
you.
the internet, you're
I
not
asked
doing
you because I
anything.
give you examples because
Yeah.
Reginald Toll, he's running in your ward, right?
Is he? Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's there's a couple of guys that they don't live in your ward, but they're running. Right? One's Reginald Tall, but he ran for MPP, right? With
Yeah, he ran for mayor too, didn't he? Yeah.
yeah, well then after he went for MPP, right? Trying to get mid-seat, right, the position there. So anyways, he canvassed. He went on canvas and he knocked on doors. He had pictures of him, 10,000 people, all these people, but his results were 169. And that was it. And I was like, so I shook my head, like asking the question: Is canvassing a dead old campaign thing or what? Because everything like what he did for every day, like he's doing right now for this ward, he's on like Zoom or not Zoom, Instagram. He's there all the time talking, knocking on doors. But I'm saying for everything he did for all the canvassing, the results for what he got were like you got 600, he got 169. Like, what does that tell you? And you're not even canvassing full time. You got a full time
Yeah,
job.
and last election I did very little, to be honest. I was working and going through some stuff. Anyways, I really did very little last election except for online stuff. I don't think it has to do with not if canvassing is dead or not. I think there are other ways to reach people now, which is cutting into the canvassing and so that if you don't canvass, you're not gonna get killed because you can still reach people through other ways. Whereas
Yeah, like
before in the
social
past,
media. You're talking about social media and social,
yeah, you couldn't do
advertising.
that. But I think it just shows you that if people don't believe in you, it doesn't matter how hard you work to try and convince them. Because if they
Yeah,
don't agree, if they don't believe in you, if they don't believe in what you're trying to bring, then they're not going to vote for you anyways. It doesn't matter if you go to their house 20 times a day for 20 weeks, right? You're just going to annoy them, really. But I mean, like, I think people appreciate that people come out and see them. They'll tell you. I'll tell you. It's like I appreciate that you're coming out and engaging with the public, but it has no bearing on if I'm going to vote for you or not.
well, that's
Because
just true.
I care about what you're going to do, right? I care about what you're trying to do. I care about the person you are, and you just coming and knocking on doors doesn't tell me about who you are or what you want to do, right? Like, I mean, I know he had his own campaign messages and stuff, right, that he was also pushing, but I'm just saying that if you don't have the substance to sort of back up what you're doing, then it
That's
doesn't
the word,
matter how much
substance.
you do. Yeah,
Your core. They don't
yeah.
believe in you. Yeah, yes, right. So I think I got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. Anything you want to talk about your campaign? Add on there that I mentioned. I think we covered most of it.
Yeah. I don't know if you're I'll just say that I'm trying to run a principled socialist campaign. I want to bring a workers' government to the city of Toronto. I, like I said, I believe in the working class. The working class needs more confidence in itself. It's not perfect. It's not immune from any ills of society or anything like that. But the working class run keeps society running. The working class should be running society, in my opinion. Right now, we're exploited and we're extorted, and it's just getting worse. And I don't know how much longer we're going to tolerate it for. Um,
People are
and
rebelling
and
right
I
now.
hope, yeah. So I hope that continues, and I hope that if you want to support my campaign, you will. I hope that if you have differences with my campaign, but you see rooms where we can work together, that you'll reach out and talk to me or talk to my campaign. Um, yeah, and I just hope that everyone remembers that politics is just not only at election time. That politics is 24/7 all the time.
Yeah, that's
That,
good. I
that the
like that.
whole that the whole world is political. We politics sucks. I hate politics. I hate it all. It's frustrating. It's angering. It's full of tragedies and unfortune and misfortune.
Backstabbing and
But
cutthroats and
it's yeah, yes, all of that. But it is so important because if you don't get involved, there are other people that are involved in power who
yeah,
will take advantage of the fact
which
that
you're
you're
doing
not
right
involved.
now, which is happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Be
anyways,
conscious and do what you have to for yourself. I understand we're all trying to survive and live. But yeah, if you want to reach out and
great.
talk to me, talk to me. I'm trying to do what I believe in here.
Thank you so much, Corey, Dave, for your opinions and your views. Yeah, I got 1 minute. Okay, before I get cut off, I say thank you for coming to the interview. I'll post it. I'll give you a copy. I'll put it on YouTube. I'll put it on the video channel, and I got a separate video channel for the election. You'll see. So thank you much, sir. I appreciate your opinion. I like your views and your community guy. That's what I like about you. And I like the new beard. Don't compete with me ever again. But that's another story.
Good to talk to
Anyway,
you, Phil.
yeah, I can
Thank you
talk.
for thank you for
Yeah,
this.
good luck. I'll see you on Thursday at the debate. All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Get
I'll see
some
you then.
sleep there, man, and shave once.